I thought I knew him, until the moment I saw two gifts, one for me, one not. The sight stopped my heart entirely. My hands shook, my chest tightened, and the air around me seemed suddenly too thick to breathe. I should have laughed at the absurdity, at the ridiculous timing of it all. But laughter felt impossible. The smaller, neatly wrapped box sat on the kitchen counter, mine. A hastily scribbled note beside it. Happy Valentine's, love. And then, across the room, almost hidden, behind a vase of tulips, a second package, larger, more extravagant, undeniably not meant for me. We'd been married 5 years. I trusted him more than anyone in the world. Our life had the easy rhythms of shared jokes, morning coffee, soft kisses before bed. I thought we were happy, comfortable, even in love. That night, that belief shattered. Invisible shards, slicing, clean through everything I thought I knew. I moved toward my gift first, trying to steady my hands. The wrapping paper was flimsy, the kind you buy last minute. A scarf. Not the scent, not the thought, just cheap. My stomach turned as I picked it up, trying to convince myself it was sweet, that perhaps my standards for Valentines were too high. But the corner of my eye caught the other box again, gleaming as if mocking me. It was expensive, flawless, carefully chosen, and suddenly, the scarf felt like a confession in itself, a confession of how little I mattered. I pretended not to notice. I smiled when he handed me the scarf, a practiced curve of lips I forced out of my chest. It's perfect, I said. My voice cracked, I'm sure, but he didn't notice. Or maybe he did. Maybe he had rehearsed that too. He leaned closer, brushing my hair back. I wanted to surprise you, he whispered. The scent of his cologne, the one I used to love, made my stomach twist in knots I couldn't name. You know I love you, he added, casual, almost too casual. And I wondered for the first time in years if he really did. That night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling, the two gifts staring back at me from the counter. One whispered devotion, the other, betrayal. And in the quiet, I realized I couldn't tell the difference anymore. The morning light filters through the blinds, painting stripes across the kitchen floor. I sip my coffee, pretending to scroll through my phone, pretending not to notice him moving around the room. But I do notice. I notice the way he hums softly, the way his tie is crooked just slightly, the way his hand lingers on the counter longer than it should. I can't stop thinking about that second gift, the one not meant for me. My stomach twists and I force a smile when he hands me my scarf again, as if that simple, cheap piece of fabric could erase what I saw. It's perfect, I say, voice hollow. He leans in, brushing a stray hair from my face, and I feel my body react despite the sharp edge of betrayal running through me. The warmth of his hand is maddening. I try to act casual, but I can't help slipping in little questions, testing the waters, seeing if he'll flinch. Did you pick up anything else when you went shopping? I ask lightly. My fingers toy with the edge of the scarf. He glances at me, smirk faint but unreadable. Just this, he says. And then he smiles that smile, the one that used to make me weak in the knees. My chest tightens. I hate that he can still do that to me, even now. Later, we're in the living room. I pretend to read a magazine, though my mind is elsewhere, circling around that second box, trying to imagine its contents. What could possibly be so important, so lavish? I catch him watching me from across the room. His eyes linger longer than usual, and for a moment, I think maybe he'll tell me something. But he doesn't. He simply shifts closer on the couch, and the tension between us crackles like static in the air. When he leans back, his arm brushing mine, it feels accidental. But it isn't. My pulse jumps. I want to pull away, to remind myself of the betrayal. But something inside me betrays me instead. I want this closeness even knowing it's dangerous. Every laugh, every glance, every gentle touch makes it harder to remember that there is a line he's crossed. One I never expected him to cross. And then, as if to punish me for my weakness, a small slip of paper peeks out from his pocket. Ewar. See it before he can hide it. An extravagant receipt from a boutique I've never been to for something I've never seen. My chest tightens so much I can barely breathe. I know in that instant what it means. That gift wasn't for me. My hands shake and I want to scream, but I don't. I simply watch him, trying to gauge his reaction. He looks away, eyes shadowed, unreadable. That evening, the tension escalates further. He suggests a quiet dinner at home, candles flickering, music soft in the background. I try to relax, but every song, every movement, every glance at the table feels loaded like a slow dance with danger. I pour the wine, my hands trembling slightly, and notice the way he studies me as if searching for cracks in my calm. When he reaches across to touch my hand, I flinch, but only slightly. The warmth, the pressure, the way his fingers linger, it all drives me wild. Even as anger and suspicion churn in my stomach, I want to pull away, to push him, to demand the truth, yet my body refuses. My heart betrays my mind. Later, we sit, close on the couch, the fire casting soft shadows over his face. I can smell the faint cologne he wears, the scent of him lingering on the fabric of his shirt. I want to believe that his eyes still hold love for me, but the second gift looms. In my mind, a constant reminder that something is off, something is wrong. I notice how his hand moves near mine, hesitates, then retreats. The almost touch lingers in the air like a promise we can't fulfill yet. I wonder how many times I've been deceived without knowing. How many glances, how many smiles, how many words were for someone else. And still, despite it all, I ache for him, crave him, want him. The contradiction makes me dizzy. I can't reconcile my heart with my mind. As I lay in bed that night, staring at the ceiling, the shadows of the room twisting like my thoughts, I realize the tension isn't just about the gifts anymore. It's about him. It's about us, and it's about the fragile thread holding everything together. One wrong move, one careless word, and it could all unravel. I close my eyes and feel him beside me in the dark, his warmth a torment and a comfort. I don't know if I can trust him, don't know if I can forgive him, but I can't let go either. I drift into a restless sleep, tangled in thoughts, tangled in desire, knowing that the next encounter, the next conversation could break me, or make me whole. The next weekend, he suggests a walk by the river. I agree, though my heart feels heavy, tangled between suspicion and longing. The air is crisp, carrying the scent of early spring flowers and the faint, comforting smell of him. The sun is low, spilling gold across the rippling water, turning everything fragile and beautiful. We walk side by side, shoulders occasionally brushing. Each touch feels loaded, electric. I want to pull away, but my body refuses. Every time our fingers graze, it's like fire under my skin, a whisper I can't ignore. I steal glances at him, catching the subtle expressions in his eyes, the way they soften when he thinks I'm not looking, the small, almost imperceptible twitch of a smile that still has the power to make my heart skip. I feel like there's something you're not telling me, I finally say, trying to keep my voice casual, though it trembles. I can't hide the tension coiling inside me. His head tilts, thoughtful, and for a moment the world falls silent around us. You're right, he says softly. His voice is low, intimate. There are things I should have told you. Things I wanted to tell you, but I was afraid. Afraid of losing you. Afraid of hurting you. He hesitates, then takes a step closer, so close that the air between us shimmers with unspoken words. I want to step back, to demand the truth, to brace myself for betrayal. but my body betrays me. I reach for his hand. It's a small gesture, tentative, but the electricity that shoots through me is undeniable. He doesn't pull away. Instead, his fingers entwine with mine, warm and strong. My chest tightens, breath catching in my throat. I don't know if I can trust you again, I whisper, but I want to. My words are shaky, unsteady, carrying all the hope and fear that's built up in the last week. His thumb brushes the back of my hand, a slow, deliberate motion that sends shivers down my spine. I need you to know, you're the only one, he says, voice rough with emotion. The other gift. It wasn't what you think. I wasn't thinking straight, but that doesn't change what I feel for you. I need you. Only you. For a moment, the world around us disappears. The rushing water, the chirping birds, even the distant hum of traffic fades into nothing. There is only him, only us, the tension that has been building finally breaking in a breathless, suspended moment. I step closer, daring, testing the boundary between desire and restraint. My forehead brushes his, and I feel his breath mingle with mine. My heart pounds so loud I can hear it in my ears. I want to tell him everything, the fear, the hurt, the longing, but words fail me. Instead, I let my lips hover near his, almost touching the space charged with anticipation. Don't, he whispers, just barely audible, and I freeze. But the way he says it isn't a command. It's a plea, a warning, a confession all at once. My body aches with the need to close that space, to taste, to feel, to know. But I hesitate, because the truth, the trust, isn't fully restored yet. We stay like that for minutes that stretch into eternity, suspended between restraint and surrender. The warmth of his hand, the nearness of his body, the softness in his eyes, it's intoxicating, almost unbearable. I realize then that desire is nothing compared to the fear of losing him, of letting go too soon, of giving my heart again without the safety I crave. And then, just as my resolve begins to crumble, a sudden vibration, his phone, forgotten on a nearby bench. It breaks the spell instantly. The moment shatters, and reality crashes back in. He glances at it, then back at me, eyes clouded with regret and longing. I step back, forcing a space between us, though my body still hums with the memory of our near intimacy. We can't, not yet, I whisper, more to myself than to him. He nods, understanding, but the tension remains, electric and raw, leaving both of us aching for something we aren't ready to claim. We walk back in silence, hands almost touching, fingers brushing occasionally, the air thick with everything unsaid. I know that the first confession has been made, not with words, not with kisses, but with the slow, intentional breaking of boundaries. We've crossed the line emotionally, and there's no turning back. The longing, the tension, the desire, they're all there, coiled tightly beneath the surface, waiting for the next moment when hearts and hands might finally surrender completely. That night, I lie awake again, tracing the memory of his hand on mine, the warmth, the near touch of lips. I'm terrified but also exhilarated. I know that the breaking of emotional boundaries has begun, and nothing will be the same. The story between us has changed, and the next chapter is inevitable. The days after that walk are unbearable. Every glance, every touch, every word between us is charged, electric, impossible to ignore. We exist in a fragile tension, a space where desire and fear collide, and I feel myself unraveling piece by piece. That evening, he comes home, and the air between us is thick with anticipation. The room is warm, golden light spilling from the lamps, shadows dancing across the walls. I can hear my own heartbeat loud in my ears, matching the rhythm of his movements. He doesn't speak at first, simply stands there studying me. There's an intensity in his gaze that makes my stomach ache, something raw, urgent, impossible to resist. I try to act normal, but I can't. My hands fidget, brushing the hem of my sleeve, playing with the edge of the scarf I received weeks ago. He notices, of course, he always notices, and then slowly, deliberately, he closes the distance between us. "You've been avoiding me," he says softly, voice low and intimate, pretending to be okay, but I can feel it. I can feel what's inside you. I swallow hard. I want to deny it, to claim control, to protect myself, but the truth is impossible to hide. I don't know what to feel, I admit. I want to trust you, but every time I do, I remember the other gift, the truth I can't forget. He steps closer, close enough that I can feel his warmth, the subtle strength in his arms. "I know," he murmurs. "I know I hurt you. I know I failed. But you have to see me now. See who I am when it's just us." And that's when it hits me. The intensity, the raw vulnerability in his words, the way he reaches out, tracing my jawline with his fingers, thumb brushing my cheek. His touch is electric, intimate, claiming me without asking. My breath catches. Desire flares alongside anger and fear, intertwining in a way that makes my body ache. I reach up, almost without thinking, letting my hands rest on his chest. I can feel the strong rhythm of his heartbeat beneath my palms, and it mirrors my own, fast and uneven. The room seems to shrink until it's just the two of us, trapped in a moment suspended between restraint and surrender. I can't pretend anymore," I whisper, voice trembling. The admission hangs in the air like a fragile promise. He leans in, close enough that I can feel the heat of his breath on my lips. And I'm tempted, aching, ready to cross the line. But he pauses, eyes locking with mine. "Not yet," he murmurs, though his hands tighten slightly on my waist. It's not denial, it's restraint. Desire held at the edge, tantalizing, maddening. "I need you to choose me willingly, not because you can't resist." I shiver, caught between frustration and longing. Every fiber of my being is pulled toward him, yet I know that giving in too soon would be surrender without trust. I want him, I need him, but I also need to be certain that this, whatever we're building, is real. He lowers his forehead to mine, breaths mingling, eyes closed. "I'll wait," he says softly, almost reverently. "I'll wait as long as it takes. Just don't push me away completely." And in that moment, something inside me breaks and mends at the same time. The tension, the fear, the desire. It all crashes together, leaving me raw, exposed, trembling. I realize I don't need answers yet. I don't need clarity. I need him. I need this connection, fragile and dangerous, and I need it to survive. We stand there for what feels like hours, bodies almost touching, hearts beating in sync. The room is silent except for the rhythm of our breathing, the electricity in the space between us, and the unspoken confessions that hang heavier than words. Finally, he steps back slightly, just enough to give me space, but his hands linger. At my sides, a silent promise. "We'll get through this," he whispers. "Together." I nod, though my chest feels tight, lungs struggling for air. "Together," I repeat, tasting the word, savoring it, letting it sink into the deepest parts of me. And in that fragile, suspended moment, I understand. We are no longer just two people navigating betrayal and fear. We are something more, complex, passionate, and impossible to ignore. That night I lie in bed, eyes wide, heart racing. Every memory of him, every glance, every touch, every whisper, pulses through me like fire. I know the breaking point has passed. The next step, the ultimate surrender, the final reckoning, is coming. And the morning sun spills through the curtains, soft and warm, painting the room in gold. I lie in bed, tracing the delicate lines of his face in my mind, remembering the way his hands felt, the subtle tension in his voice, the way he made me feel, both safe and utterly undone. Today I know nothing can remain half said, half felt. I need him completely, and I need him to feel me too. He enters the room quietly, closing the door behind him, his presence filling the space. My chest tightens, anticipation coiling like fire in my veins. He pauses at the edge of the bed, eyes drinking me in, expression soft but intense, like he's seeing me for the first time all over again. I've waited, he murmurs, voice low, rough with emotion. Waited for the moment we could just be us, without walls, without fear. I sit up, heart hammering, and let him see the ache, the longing, the vulnerability I've been trying to hide. I've waited too, I whisper. My voice is trembling, fragile, but there's an edge of resolve beneath it. I need to know it's real this time, that you're really here, really with me. He crosses the room and kneels beside me, fingers brushing my hair back, tracing the line of my jaw with reverence. The warmth of his touch is overwhelming, intimate, grounding. It's real, he says, his forehead resting against mine. Only you. Only ever you. I let my hands move over him, slowly, tentatively at first, memorizing the feel of him, the strength beneath his touch, the vulnerability in his eyes. We are careful, tender, savoring every breath, every heartbeat, every connection. There is no rush, no need to fill the space with words. Our bodies speak for us, whispering the confessions that lips cannot yet fully articulate. And then, with deliberate gentleness, he cups my face in his hands, his eyes locking with mine. I need you to trust me, he says. To let go just a little, let me in. I inhale sharply, letting the tension drain out of me. Every doubt, every fear, every betrayal melts under the weight of his sincerity. Slowly, I lean into him, letting my body press against his, heart pounding, breath mingling. His arms wrap around me, holding me close, and I feel the storm inside me begin to settle, soothed by the rhythm of his heartbeat. We move together, inching closer, hands and lips finally meeting in that slow, deliberate connection that we've been dancing around for days. It's not about urgency, it's about presence, about being fully there, fully seen, fully understood. Every brush of skin, every lingering touch, sends shivers through me, not just of desire, but of recognition, of intimacy, of trust rebuilt. I love you, he whispers into my hair, voice breaking, raw and unguarded. I have always loved you, even when I faltered, even when I made mistakes. You are everything. Tears prick at the corners of my eyes, not from sorrow but from the overwhelming mix of relief, longing, and surrender. I love you too, I admit, voice trembling. I never stopped, even when I wanted to. And in that moment, all the tension, all the heartbreak, all the stolen moments of longing, collapses into a single unshakable truth. We are here. Together. Whole again, not despite what happened, but because we confronted it, because we survived it, because we chose each other, fully and irrevocably. Hours pass like minutes. We lie together, tangled, breathing each other in, exploring the fragile, beautiful intimacy we've reclaimed. There are no words for the depth of this connection, no need for justification, only the shared warmth, the mingling of heartbeats, the silent confession spoken through touches and glances. Finally, when the sun has fully risen, spilling brilliance across the room, we sit facing each other, hands still entwined. I look into his eyes, and for the first time in days I feel a calm I haven't known since the moment of betrayal. We're okay, I whisper. He smiles, soft and relieved, brushing a stray strand of hair from my face. More than okay, he says. We're us. And there, in that quiet golden morning light with the world still turning outside, I realize something profound. The second gift. The betrayal, the heartbreak, they were never the end. They were the beginning of something deeper, something more real, something that couldn't have existed without the trial we endured. We are stronger, more intimate, more alive. We are finally, utterly